Awesome. All right, we're ready to get started. Hey, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great first day at Cisco Live. My name is Ileana, and I am a product manager here on the Cisco U team. And today I'm excited to talk to you about some recently released features on Cisco U, platform features, as well as what we have coming up next. So this is, I know, the end of the day. I promise I won't take up too much of your time. This should be pretty easy breezy. Only other thing is I am battling a little cough, so if you hear my voice sound funky, apologies in advance. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So for our agenda today, I thought I'd kind of split things up into some of our sort of targeted audiences here, starting off with learners, of course. So Cisco U, for those that don't know, it's our flagship learning platform where you can find all of our certification material, learning paths, courses, tutorials, podcasts, and more. It's very learner-centric, so we'll be starting there. And then I'll move on to enterprise features. And by that, I mean basically for our B2B customers, they have a specific role within them, the customer admin role. And they are basically targeted with overseeing the use of the Cisco U licenses. And so we've built out a specific portal just for them, the customer admin portal, where we'll be rolling out more functionality for them. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then lastly, or almost lastly, commerce capabilities. We've enhanced some of the ways that you can purchase Cisco U and some of the options available. So I'll touch upon that. And then just to close things out, what's coming up. So what's in the pipeline, what we have that is coming soon that we're excited to show all y'all. All right, so let's go. Let's get started with learner features. Really, we released a bunch of learner features over the past few months, but I just chose three that I think are perhaps the most exciting and have come out quite recently. So I'll talk about each of these, but I just want to kind of give a brief overview. The first has to do with continuing education credits. We know how important it is to get your certification and then keep it through recertification. And we've heard from learners that the CE credit process can be a little bit challenging. And so we made some steps to automate that and make it a little bit more stress-free. We've added in a new section in Cisco U called the certification section, which is dedicated to all things certification, where you can find not only content, but more information about certifications to explore the different ones we have available. And then also learning path completion score reports. So this is to help folks to, once they've finished a learning path, be able to share that achievement with others, be able to seek reimbursement if needed, and be able to validate their learning. So let me talk just a little bit more about each of these. So CE credits. We've heard from our learners that submitting manually CE credits for redemption can be a little bit of a challenging process. There's lots of opportunities for error with manually entering data, and sometimes it can be delayed, which can be a very frustrating experience. So what we've done is try to streamline that process, reduce the manual steps involved, so that when you complete content in Cisco U that is eligible for CE credits, it will automatically be submitted, and you'll have more visibility to where it is in the process, and you'll understand more the eligibility requirements, so that there should be less confusion and less frustration. So this is something that we've released really recently, and it really enables learners to recertify quickly on Cisco U. And then I mentioned the certification section. So if you see here from the top nav under certifications, there is now a new space. And if you go there, you'll be able to see all of our certification content, as well as the different certifications available, the different job roles associated, enter into the communities that are associated as well, and really jumpstart your certification. We know how important certifications are for folks to, kick off a new career, advance in their career, learn something new. And so we wanted to devote a space specifically to that, and it's available right from the top nav in Cisco U. And then the last learner feature that I wanted to just touch upon are learning path completion reports. So we've understood that learners have had a hard time having like a validation record of their achievement when completing a learning path. And it's really quite an accomplishment because a learning path can be hours and hours of content, labs, and assessments you have to complete. And so what we've provided is a report that is available to a learner once they complete the learning path. It provides a sort of holistic summary of what they've learned, and it's also sent in an email with a certificate. And this can be used to socialize, to validate that you've learned this, to share with your manager. And also, if you're seeking perhaps reimbursement for the course, you can also provide this as a validation record. So this is something that we recently released in the last couple months. So just going to switch from learners and go to enterprise. As I mentioned, when I'm talking about enterprise, it's really like the B2B customers and specifically the customer admin role. So for our B2B customers, we designate a customer admin or they select one. And that's the person that's like the team captain. They basically manage the license, they have oversight of them, and they can decide who gets what essentially. So in October, we launched the customer admin portal, which is going to be a space just for them or is a space just for them where they can go in and see their orders, see their learners, and assign learners. And then just this past week, we added on a reporting element to the customer admin portal. So admins can now go in and see the utilization of each user. So I'll just touch a little bit about both of these guys. So the customer admin portal launched in October. And essentially, if you are a customer admin, you're automatically authenticated when you enter into Cisco U. And so from your profile dropdown, you can enter into the customer admin portal space. And from there, you can see if you manage multiple customer sites, different orders that are available, and you can also assign users. Oftentimes, those users are already assigned at the time of sale, but sometimes they're not. And so rather than have the admin have to contact Cisco or their BDM, they can instead just come in here and easily assign them. All they need is the email address of each learner, and it'll be automatically assigned. So this is a feature that we released in October. And what we just released last week is our reporting MVP, which is really our first step into providing customer-facing reporting for our users, or for our customer admins, rather. So within the Learner tab in the Customer Admin Portal, we can now see 3 high-level metrics for all learners: the date they last logged in, how many times they've logged in, and how many learning paths they've accessed. And so this is very much our MVP, our first step into providing some kind of visibility for customer admins to see, if and how folks are using it. And we plan to add much more robust metrics to this. For example, the ability to drill down into an individual user and see their specific utilization, as well as, pan out and see an aggregated view of the team metrics. We'll be also adding more and more different features to this customer admin portal, some of which I'll talk a little bit more towards the end. All right, so I wanted to just briefly talk about commerce capabilities that we've added to Cisco U. So when we launched in May, we offered 2 digital libraries, the Essentials and the All Access. Essentials is great for, if you're new, it has great beginner, intermediate content, and All Access is our premium offer, which offers everything in Cisco U and some more advanced content. What we've offered now, or what we enabled now, is the ability to purchase a single title. So let's say you're not interested in the full catalog, you really just want to take the CCNA course, for example. Now it's easy to just buy that CCNA course for yourself or for your team, and in that way have a more sort of bite-sized entry into Cisco U. There are 6-month licenses, and if you do want Cisco Essentials, of course, that will offer you a lot more. The next thing we've done is made it easier to purchase our digital libraries. So generally, historically, to purchase, a customer would have to reach out to our sales, our business development managers, who'd be more than happy to facilitate that sale. But now we've made it easy to do an e-commerce faction from Cisco U itself. So there's no need to actually contact Cisco U and purchase that way. You can just do so with your credit card or your CLCs, your Cisco Learning credits, on the Cisco U platform itself, thereby just taking out sort of the middleman and making it a little bit easier for folks to get access to Cisco U right away. And we are planning some more enhancements to the commerce space, new ways to purchase and easier ways to purchase as well. All right. Well, I'm just breezing on through this. I want to just end with what's coming up. So this is probably what you guys are most excited about. This is what we have in the pipeline for the next few months in terms of platform features. So I'll start with practice exams. This is one that I'm pretty excited about. I understand for a certification exam, sometimes there can be some anxiety. You're trying to prepare. You're not sure if you're going to actually pass. We're going to release a practice exam feature where you can do just that. You can practice for your exam. You can kind of gauge your proficiency, see where you might have some gaps you might want to brush up on. And that way, hopefully be better prepared for your exam and able to go in with some enhanced confidence. The next one is topic-based discovery. It's essentially just improving the overall metadata and search and browse experience so that we can better connect learners to the content they're looking for, essentially shortening that path to value for our learners. And the next one here, I've heard some feedback already today that folks are excited about, which is the learner completion badges. In CDL, there was an experience where you completed a course, you would receive a badge, and that's something that I think is sorely missed on the new Cisco U platform. And so soon we'll be able to roll out the learner completion badges so that when you finish your content, you'll get a badge that you can share with others and will be visible on Cisco U. And then lastly, more improved, or on this side, improved e-commerce. We do want to expand the ability for folks to purchase, for example, from within the customer admin portal themselves. They could purchase there for their team and have enhanced control over it. So we'll be adding more and more options for e-commerce, aiming to be more flexible for everybody. Now on the right side here, I just want to touch upon these customer admin specific features that are coming out really soon. The first one being content assignment. So customer admins sometimes want to guide the journey of their learners and basically direct them towards specific content. So we want to enable them to be able to do so, to select content and assign it to their user so that it'll appear to the learner as a task they must complete. And then the admin will be able to track that progress on their end and see how they're going towards that goal. Enterprise recommendations. So learners already have recommendations when they enter the site. They have a survey they can fill out, and recommendations are also generated by their user behavior. But we want to also raise recommendations for the customer admins in the customer admin portal, where they'll be able to see recommendations for their team based on either their install base or the utilization of their team or their self-inputted interests. And in this way, further be able to guide their learner's journey by finding new content and assigning it to them. Then content customization. This one's going to be, I think, an interesting one. Let's say you don't want to assign a full learning path. You only want to assign certain snippets from it. Let's say only certain parts of it are relevant and the rest you don't need. We want to give our customer admins the ability to do that from the customer admin portal. Basically select the sections that are relevant to them and create their own custom learning path that they can then assign to their users. We often hear that this is requested in our instructor-led training where there's more customization available. And so we want to bring that over to the digital space and make it available to our customer admins as well. And then last but not least is user management. We know that we have some customers, especially large ones, who may have quite a few users to manage. We want to give them the ability to group those users. So let's say there's a network team, a security team, what have you. You can track them by their group. You can also do bulk actions on them. And in that way, be better able to manage if you might have a long, long list of users. So that is what is coming up that I can tell you all about. We do have much more. Every month or so, we are releasing new features on Cisco U, new content as well, of course. And so be on the lookout. And if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them at any time. And if there's not, no worries. I will be at the Cisco U booth all week long, and me and any of my colleagues can answer any of your questions about upcoming features of Cisco U. Thank you so much for your time.